Hi everyone, it's Brittany, and in today's video, I am going to be sharing one of my clients' experiences, and he specifically said he didn't want me to call this a success story, although in my opinion, it's absolutely a success, but that's okay. We don't have to label it a success story. But he really wanted me to share this with you guys. So, this client came to me. This was the first time I had ever met him. And when we first started speaking, he shared with me that he was not a stranger to manifestation or working with coaches. And he had said, I have literally done it all. And I know you've shared in your videos before that lots of your clients say that. That's where I am. And he was just like, there are just some things in my life that I don't know how to get past and see in a different way. So as always, I just start to ask questions to get to know, my clients a little bit better. And as we were getting to know each other, he had mentioned to me that he had a really amazing childhood. And as he was sharing some of his childhood experiences with me, he had said something along the lines of, I know that most people who are into reality creation come from more of a background of trauma or lots of unfavorable experiences. And while sure, that can absolutely be true for some people, it's not always the truth for everyone. So it doesn't matter what kind of experiences you had. It's all right now in this moment. So we don't need to use that to, define ourselves in any way. But he brought it up specifically because he said, I almost feel bad because I had a great childhood. I don't have anything that I can blame my current issues on. And just so you know, there's no blame in any of this, guys. This is not about blame. This is about coming to the realization of who you really are and using that as your foundation for everything in your life, for how you choose to move through life, for how you choose to perceive things in your experience, all while knowing the foundation of who you really are. So we got into that a little bit, and he shared with me that when he was younger, he was really, really into magic, and he got a magic set for Christmas one year, and he loved that thing. It was like he specifically said himself, that was like my entire identity. That's who I was. And we started talking about his experiences with practicing this magic. And I came to realize that he had lots of fun experiences. And so after he shared those things with me, and by the way, with a smile on his face the entire time, I asked him, what is stopping you from being the magician right now? And he kind of looked at me a little bit funny, and he was like, maybe I'm not sure what you're asking, but do you mean like in my current situation? And I said, well, yeah, I mean, right now in this moment, what is stopping you from choosing to be that magician? And he said, well, I guess because I'm seeing everything as very important and very serious. And I said, yes. And as a magician, as that kid that you were being a magician, were you taking it extremely seriously? Were you putting a lot of pressure on yourself? How were you being this magician? And he said, actually, it was the complete opposite of that. I was having fun. I was being playful about things, and I didn't really care about what I was actually doing. And so we started playing around with this idea, and I said, hey, why don't you go back to that experience, that identity of being the magician, and choose to be the magician of your life and your experiences? And so he was like, yeah, I like this. I really like this. I can totally have fun with that. And I said, That's exactly how I know that I'm going to hear a lot from you. I'm going to hear an update from you. And he was just like, okay, let's see. Let's hope it ends up that way. Now, as you guys can probably imagine, when I met up with him the next time, which was like 3 weeks after the initial meeting, he had lots to share with me. And it was so many different things that I'm not going to share it on this video, but he doesn't really want me to share those things. Now, he said I could mention that the big things that were going on in his life at that time were his father being sick, his career, like the job that he was working in, he just wasn't really sure if that's what he wanted to continue to do. And he was having a lot of trouble at that particular job, which was, I guess, causing him confusion on, is this even what I want to do with my life? Like, I don't really even know. And I explained to him he doesn't need to figure that out, but he does need to decide what kind of experience he wants to have, how he wants to feel about himself and his life. And so he said that he started practicing this at work because that was mainly where he spends a lot of his time. And so when his boss would say something that appeared to be a negative statement, in his mind, he would say something along the lines of, actually, you said this. You said it this way. And he would give himself that experience using his, invisible magic wand, as he said, which is his perception, his word. So he played around with it. He wasn't trying to get anything from it, but for the experience, for the playfulness, for the lightheartedness of things, for the fun of it. And of course, what ended up happening is these things that he chose to see in a different way started to shift, started to appear differently. And his boss, after 1 week of doing this, guys, after 1 week, at the end of that week, his boss came to him and said, you've been performing really, really well. And it looks like possibly you might be getting a promotion. And here's the thing, guys. His boss has always been on him all the time, micromanaging him, telling him that he needs to get his numbers up. He's not up to par. He's not doing what everybody else is doing. He's not producing what he needs to be producing. It was just no matter what it was, no matter how hard he would work at his job, his boss would have something negative to say. And of course, that was my client's perception of things. And because he put so much importance on it, he was taking it so seriously. That's the way that he had to experience it. It had to be very scary and serious. But when he shifted and switched it up and said, you know what? I understand the way that this world works. I understand that the 3D experience is simply just what exists within the contents of my consciousness. Nothing exists outside of me. Everything exists within my awareness. That if I experience something that I don't like, I don't have to accept that. And he wasn't getting this before. Like, he knew that he could choose to look at things differently, but while things would appear in his 3D experience, he was just like accepting it as if it were a fact. And he would say, well, you don't understand. My boss said this, or this is what's going on. This is what the doctors are telling me about my dad. And I said, so when you're having thoughts like that, that say, well, your boss says this, or the doctor says that, what are you doing with those thoughts? And he said, well, I'm seeing them as options, like you've said before in your videos. I'm not accepting them as truths. And so I said, okay, so when it appears in the 3D experience, why is that different? Why are you accepting those things as the truth? And he said, well, I guess because I feel that it's real when it's happening in my experience. And I said, I totally get that, but here's the thing. Your thoughts are no different than what temporary forms are appearing in your 3D experience. And in fact, those things only ever appear to invite you to go join them. And what I mean by that is things are always appearing to present themselves to you, to invite you to either acknowledge that as the truth, identify yourself with it, attach yourself to that experience, and make it define you, which most of us are doing, or you can deny that as yours. You can reject that thing. not by trying to push it away or pretending like it's not there, but by realizing that this is an option for me. I don't have to just accept this as the truth. And I explained to him in this way, and it really, really clicked. So I'm just going to, throw it out there for you guys as well. When I say that creation is finished, that means that absolutely everything that will ever happen has already happened. So everything has already happened, which means that in your 3D experience, nothing is ever happening. Why? Because it's already happened. So what it is temporary forms appearing in your 3D experience from creation already being done, already being finished, and inviting you to choose which part of creation you, in your personal experience, would like to bring to life. And depending on what you do with those things that appear, will determine how you experience things. So if something shows up and you don't like it, remove your attention from it. Say, no, thank you. I understand that that's available to me, and it's fine. It's perfect the way that it is, in fact, because without that experience, without that reality, without that identity or that character, creation couldn't be finished. So it is perfect in its own right, but I don't have to choose to experience that. I don't have to continue to buy into that, because it's just as real as any other option that is available to me. It's no more real than any other possibility that I have available to me. So I'm going to look at these things as an invitation instead of a fact. And so when I kind of broke it down in that way, it totally clicked for him, and he felt much more playful being able to say yes or no to things. And guys, the success here, and the reason why he actually said he didn't want me to call it a success story, is because he doesn't feel like anything major was manifested. But guys, what is major is that he now understands who he is. He now knows his role here, and he's defined himself in a way that allows him complete freedom to do whatever he wants, to live his life in whatever way he wants to, and not to get distracted or trapped in these illusions that appear, temporary illusions that appear. So, and not only that, I do want to mention that his dad is doing very, very well right now. And he did get that promotion that his boss had mentioned to him. So really, there are successes in this experience. And he had lots more things happen too. So it wasn't that he didn't have anything specific that he could like tangibly tell me had changed in his experience. But he was feeling like, well, if I'm not a multimillionaire living in my dream home right now on the lake, and I'm not married with 3 children, then it's not a success. But that's just not true. That's not true at all. So the fact that he now understands everything is already available to him, not only is it available, but it is his. It is his. And I just want to point this out to you guys as well. He was confused about how everything was his. And so I explained it in this way. When you have a desire, that is not an indication that something is missing or you don't have this thing. It is a nudge from your I am, from your true self, just letting you know that you also exist here. This is also available to you right now because you are also this. So a desire is literally a little nudge to allow you to realize that, hey, I'm not currently experiencing this right now, but I could be if I wanted to. I can if I choose to see it that way. I can if I identify with that. So it's never about shifting from lack to fulfillment. It's about realizing that you're always fulfilled. You are fulfillment itself. So Nothing is ever lacking in your experience. The only thing that you can ever do is to use your free will to choose to perceive that something is missing in your life. But even that is still fulfillment. It's just fulfillment of not being who you want to be, which it doesn't make any sense because you are all things. So he understood that it wasn't about trying to make something happen. It's not about focusing on the specific thing that you want to make it magically appear in your experience. It's the fact that everything is already there. Remember, creation is finished. All of those desires that you have are indications that they are already fulfilled in your experience. You are essentially hiding those things from your five senses by insisting that you are not that person and that those things are not here. Again, it's an illusion, it's not the truth, but you get to use your free will to choose the way you experience this 3D. So stop holding on to I am not. Stop holding on to these lies of lack in your life and shift your focus to having fun, enjoying things, focusing on spending your time and energy and attention on things that feel good. Things that feel good. We are not here to work hard. We are not here to be serious. Source just wants to have fun. Source wants to experience as many things as possible. And all of it is exciting to Source. So if you don't like something, totally valid, totally okay. You don't have to experience it. But you are the one who gets to choose if this continues to persist in your experience or not, based off of what you say, what you choose to give your energy to. So with this client, he's doing lots more, he's having lots more fun, and now he's starting to go bigger and play around with more and more and more. And that's what this is all about, guys. This is about having fun, being lighthearted, having a very effortless, flowy way about things instead of making everything so serious. And I know. I understand that there are things that are important to you. But please, guys, please understand who you are doesn't need to put importance on anything. Importance implies that you can have something be taken away from you or that you will never get to experience something. And based off of the foundational understanding of who you are, you know that those are both lies. So why put importance on something when you already have it all? You can love it. You can enjoy it. You can be happy about that. But there doesn't need to be some excess importance on it because, again, that implies that you don't know who you are. So I will urge all of you guys to start being the magician of your lives. Have fun. Be lighthearted about things. And if you don't like to be the magician, you can do whatever you want. None of these things that I share with you guys are rules. These are all just suggestions and options for you to play around with. But find what feels good for you. And I can't give you that answer, guys. I don't know. I don't know what you enjoy. I don't know what feels good to you. So this is about understanding yourself and playing around with yourself and starting to get to know yourself in a different way than maybe you have allowed yourself to do before this. But it's all fun. It's all enjoyable. And if it's not, I want you to realize that if it's not fun, if it's not enjoyable, if it's not what I want, it doesn't deserve my energy or attention. And shift the focus to something that you do prefer. So, thank you guys so much for being here with me today. Thank you so much to my client for allowing me to share this conversation and experience that we had. I really, really appreciate that because I know it's going to be helpful. As you guys know, I really, really want you to, in any of the videos that I post, always start from the truth of who you are. I am. That's always number one. And then from there, whatever you want to do, play around, have fun, try different things. This is all about the experience. So start experiencing life in the way that you want to. And if you want to use this one fun way to do it, by all means, please do, and share your experiences with me. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week. Thank you so much for being here with me. I love you guys so, so much. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, as always.